Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Guess who's been bought some microphones for her birthday? I have a portable microphone set now. One for me, one for Dad. Can I officially call myself a YouTuber now? What a cool present, eh? I am buzzing. My voiceovers aren't going to sound crap anymore. Hello, welcome to YouTube Professional with Becca. We're going to finish building the van on my birthday. Yes, because there's no rest for the wicked. Look what we've done here. As a little shower wall behind all the ply, we've been shopping for more wood. And we're going to attempt to build the rest of that shower today. Let's go. And you're going to be able to hear us properly now because I'm going to have a mic and Dad's going to have a mic. Which means I don't have to edit Dad's voice to be really loud because it's so quiet in the background. Yay! But first, let me get you caught up. I have covered the edges of the kitchen in ply. I have drilled holes in the back for ventilation for the fridge and added a piece on top just to protect it until the work surface gets here. I've also now got drawer handles, and I did spend half a day adding catches. However, they aren't strong enough to keep the doors shut, so I'll have to redo those. And we've started work on the shower. I didn't film it, but this is what the other one ended up looking at. We've had to take a great deal off it. And full disclosure, it's not fully square with the floor of the van either. It's on like maybe 2 degrees on a wonk because we just couldn't get it with the all the way back there and to the top. We'd have ended up just losing even more of the wooden batten. So we've had to do it like that and then just put some support joists in the middle. The shower tray sits perfectly on this space at the bottom. This is the size of the shower tray, so we're building the enclosure outside of it. And I mean, it took us half a day just to do this side because it just took forever and we ended up just lobbing it all off. See, like this.
That's top still, isn't it?
And it's nowhere near straight, and yeah.
Okay.
And to offer you some perspective of how close this is, so this is what the shower tray's on. This is the size of the wood battens that we're using on the left-hand side. Look, there's no space there. That's it, we're in. All the way to this side. Same with this batten. And then the piece of ply that's going to separate the living and the garage space. And look, we're literally millimetre. Perfect. There might be 1 mil to spare there if we're lucky. So that's been very, very lucky indeed, because that's the smallest shower tray I could get. I bought the smallest shower tray I could find. Still more? Yeah. We did say that a million times yesterday and we kept cutting it and then bringing it back and cutting it and bringing it back and doing just a bit more, just a bit more, just a bit more, not far, not far. It took us about 4 hours, I think.
Yeah. It's more than you think, isn't it, when you look at it?
So you can see how we're not straight. And yeah, Dad, I think you're probably better off we're trying to replicate the one on the right here. Just do a massive diagonal.
Yeah.
I think Dad has just cut the final bit off and this should work now, hopefully.
With a bit of luck.
With a bit of luck.
And a good judgment.
And 27 different cuts again.
Yeah.
Right, I'll put it in, I'll get it lined up. Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll screw into that now. That metal bit behind, we'll put a screw in there and it'll hold it straight in.
Right, brilliant. You can really get the feel for how much space this is going to take up now. Like I'm sitting in the seat and I'm like, oh, that's going to block my eye line for this and for that. It's a big deal. Okay, so we have notched out the bottom for this wire to go in. Okay, put it down. There we go. So this sort of fits under there. So we've just plopped that there so it's in the right place. And then this is for the wires. So we're going to go through the back. Yeah. And then these wires are going to get fed through here. I have just had the skylight delivered for the shower. So we'll have to, I think we'll finish building the walls and then we'll go on the roof and we'll do that before we put the shower tray in, as to not damage the shower tray when things fall.
constructed.
Completed. We've brought the wires up through them on this side because the switch, the plug for the water pump and for the light switch in the shower is going to be here, so that's what those are for. Dad's just going to sort of connect that and run that down now. We've brought it from the fuse box and the battery obviously down here, down here, down here. We cut out that section for the wire to fit through, and then they're coming up through these, because this is going to be obviously inside the shower wall and along here to the switch. So we've now got 4 cables in here. The thick red ones are for the water pump and the little pinky ones are for the lights. And the reason why we're securing them in like this is because it's going to be completely closed off and we're never going to see it again. So we're just taking extra precautions to make sure that sort of they're safe and the wires don't move or chafe against anything and are secure and are going to be okay, because we're never going to see this again. And where these holes are, once we've got everything okay, we're going to put silicone down to sort of protect them, to stop them chafing, but we're not going to do that until sort of everything's working and in, but they will be protected by a bit of silicone. But now, time for the shower base, and we have to build a structure for it to sit on securely and not crack. So that's what I'm doing here. Dad had built this rectangle structure the other day, and I was now cutting the 3x1 bits to sort of go in the middle of it to make sure it was nicely balanced and the weight distribution. I did 1 long piece down the middle and 4 extra little bits so we could manoeuvre them, because the drains got to go in there as well. So once I'd done all of that, it was time for the pocket screws again. The amount of pocket holes I have now drilled during this van build is quite ridiculous. I wish I'd kept count actually. We're well into the hundreds now. So I did that and then put them all back in place, but rookie error, I didn't number them, so this took me a little fiddling out to work out which one went where. And now onto the water tank. I have chosen a 100-litre water tank that sits over the wheel arch inside the boot of the van, the garage. And we're cutting little bits of ply here to try secure it. But as you can see, they kind of just keep falling down, so we didn't end up using those. And this is also housing the filter for my toilet, if you can see there. So that's what Dad and I are working on now. Okay, this is where we're at. Thick piece of ply to support it. We're going to also box it in with pieces of wood. Dad's just gone to cut this one now and obviously notched in there. And this has the room, so it rests on top of the wheel arch and on this side, and it has room. This is the filter cartridge for my toilet, so that's going to be shoved in there with a little window so we can access it, so I can change it every year because they've got to be changed every 12 months. And we're also going to be coming up the side with wood, and it's going to be fixed in actually with the bed joists. So Dad marked and cut out a couple of sections in the bed strat which go over the lips of the water tank to hold it in place securely, like so. Right, we've marked this where it reaches the water tank. We're going to cut it so this can sit behind the water tank against the wall and become a little shelf so we can use this space as storage. We also had to use a Stanley knife to remove all the silicone that was there when I bought the van on the wheel arches so we can replace it with our own. And we were going to use this and then push it down there, push the water tank against it and make sure that was secure in place so it could go off before sealing the outsides of that as well. And that was another day's hard graft done. So we had planned today to go up to that lovely man's farm and do the skylight, but he actually had a robbery a few days ago, didn't he? And all the locks have changed and he's not home, so we don't know how to get in there. So we've had to do a very quick change of plan last minute, and instead of doing the skylight, we're going to sort of make headway on the shower, aren't we? Yeah, see what we can do with the shower. But yeah, it's been a bit of an odd week. Things have not gone to plan, but we'll crack on. The weather is bipolar. It's sun, rain, sun, torrential rain, storm, sun, wind. So it's a bit of a nightmare this week. I've got 3 more days and anyway, let's go.
Because we bought a commercial standard shower with a 90mm waste, we're having to do this.
So what are we using here? Clear cement glue.
Yeah. So we're taking it down now. So
You've sawn off a bit of the pipe underneath,
yeah,
haven't you, to make sure this one fits on.
Yeah.
And then this
and
one
this
goes
one
into
now
the
goes into the 28mm
waste panel.
Waste
The
pipes for motorhomes and caravans.
Yeah.
So that's all glued up.
So this is the very thin waste. I think it's 45mm. And then we've got a flexi pipe on the end, and then this is Dad's contraption. Trying to get that all fit together. This is the waste tank that's going underneath the van. So they're over here. We're trying to get it down into this pipe basically. So this is very small. Normal waste pipes are very big. And again, this is another size to that. So lots of fiddling around trying to work it all out.
Right, so we've got rid of this.
Got rid of the flexi pipe.
So now we can go straight onto the 28mm caravan motorhome waste pipe and go straight through under the floor, which gives us a lot more room to play with, and this will just sit under the tray.
So the genius has made something wonderful again out of several different bits that were not meant to be.
Yeah, so we don't need this anymore. This is not required.
How funky
because
is
that would have been, if that had started leaking under there, you'd have been in big trouble.
Yes,
But
that looks more secure, doesn't it? That looks way more
definitely,
secure. Yeah, nice one. Dad is going to work on creating sort of extra fixtures to fix this water tank in, and I'm going to cut out the ply for the sides of the shower. So we're going to split the jobs now and see if we can get this completely secure in. If you noticed from yesterday that it doesn't move. I mean, it will be 100 kilograms when it's full, so we need to make sure that that's completely secure in. So Dad's going to work on that, and I'm going to cut some ply, and it's just started to rain again. Great. My first job was to measure the intricacies of these shower walls. I mean, oh my goodness, what a pain this was. So I decided to cut out a piece of ply much bigger than I needed, but the rough shape of the wall. And then I could take it in, once I'd cut out just the basic triangle shape, I could take it in and trace the wall against the side of it. And then that would give me some sort of template, like so, that I could use the jigsaw to cut out by. And while I was doing this, Dad was hard at work, as you can see, working on the water tank and trying to secure that in place. And I think, gosh, I must have tried several times before I realised that actually I'd need to create a separate part for the top, because I was just cutting into the ply too much and it was getting shorter and shorter. So I created a template for the top, and we ended up deciding to cut it into 2 sections, which made it easier, but it was still an absolute farce. Right, shower wall is done. We're going to move back onto the water tank, because that's very difficult, fiddly and time consuming. And we have to make 3 more. This piece of wood here is going to go in and end up in between the bed slat, and then we'll drill it and secure it there. Dad's just gluing a couple of pieces either side of the base. We've got it all clamped. He's put a couple of screws in the bottom. So it looks a bit like this, all to house the water tank. Right, sit it on there. You can kind of see what we're doing here. Put the strut back on that we've cut those sections out of, so that goes over here. We are going to be adding silicone in, aren't we? Yeah. Not bad, but I mean, gosh, look at how bespoke this is. This is why it's taken us a long time.
Yeah,
It must have chucked it down like 6 times today. And the sun comes out just in time for us to finish. I'm going to leave this one there because that's all we've got done so far. Hopefully we'll finish the shower in the next few days, but let's see how we go. This is taking a lot longer than I expected. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Big love to my patrons. Peace out.